Today I made a diss track about my landlord, except he's not my landlord, except he is not landlord. My roommate's house is owned by her ex-husband, and even though the house is what she got in the divorce, he has another house and doesn't even live here or pay the utilities or garbage or water. He sent her to tell me that instead of her, who's been caring for me and finding miracles to be able to pay for me to live here for electricity and garbage, he's gonna have her keep paying that, and he's going to be having her do that job for free, and that's now going to be collecting $300 a month from me, even though he was never my landlord. She was. All of a sudden, he's my landlord now, and he's just saying that months into me living here, as I'm really sick from a plague he gave me. I pay my rent to my roommate who took me in, and now the dude who technically owns the house, but supposedly, because his family made him keep it in his name, that's why he said it's in his name, is just because his family made him, but now he's asserting those rights, so that's not true. He has to pick one. He can't just pick and choose. He's now coming in and without even talking to me, saying I now instead have to pay him. Meanwhile, I've been sick as hell for 3 months, and it's because he gave me COVID. He contracted by going and hanging out with friends when they said not to, because Delta was coming. And I'm supposed to just watch him use her as an employee, to be the one who tells me, because he couldn't even tell me himself, even though we're on speaking terms and I see him often. But the truth is, this is his divorce business. It's also kinda inappropriate to put me in this situation, and then also to not even talk to me about it to do it. I've made my decision. I'm not gonna be paying him any money. I'm not gonna be signing any kind of contracts. I'm paying my roommate money because I'm her only means of income, and she did a lot of work to earn that trust. I don't know him. I don't have that trust with him, and he can't even talk to me himself. And also, I do not have the same privacy rights a normal tenant would. My room is by the laundry, so it doesn't even have a door. So I don't sign contracts anyways. This was never a business arrangement. I can't sign contracts. I can't even feed myself properly. I've lost a lot of weight because I can't afford to feed myself right now. And then he wants to randomly add $300 to my budget when he doesn't even know my situation because, well, he's not my landlord. He never took the time to get to know me. It's been months. I moved in July into the yard, so it's now March. My roommate is my landlord, and if I pay him $300 a month that I don't have, then she's still going to be paying for me to live here. She'd be paying for my electric and garbage and water, and she can't work. And she put a lot of work into fostering me. We all saw how much of a mess I was and am, and my roommate is the one who does the work. And they were married. They are on great terms, and he's able to work and benefits from her staying home. And now he wants to benefit from her ability to have roommates and generate income while telling her that this is her space to have and try and make something of herself. But then he takes it. She is disabled and also helping another disabled person survive. I lived in his yard. He wants me to sign a contract? If he really wants to get technical, I incurred a lot of risk to be able to live here, and it was not habitable living. I lived in the backyard first for months, from July to September. I had no shower access. I had electricity, but I had to pee and poop in plastic cups. It smelled and contaminated my air. I had to fear and fight off wild animals and insects. Many wild animals all night that the garden had. Gardens attract critters at night. And that's fine, because this wasn't ever a business transaction. This was a humanitarian effort, and you brought in someone who's legally ordained. It was a rehab project, and I was fighting men on the street every day. I'm an abused child who this world thinks they can abuse too. My roommate and best friend did all of that work, and he wants to all of a sudden make it a business deal when it was uninhabitable means. That's really mean, and that's how I was forced to live in order to stay here for a lot of months, and there's a million live videos of it. He's not cut out to try to sign up to be a landlord, and it's odd that he would even try. He has a house with a tenant, and my roommate can't go ask his tenant for money and just let him know without that tenant's consent. Just like, hey, by the way, you have to pay me now. Like, my roommate can't do that. She can't go just like start charging her ex-husband's tenant, just like, they were married. Like what's mine is yours, that shit. Yeah, anyways, that's not my business, and so this is exactly what I mean by it's inappropriate. It's inappropriate for me to be in a situation to say this. I've been here for months, and I was always straightforward about my situation. And he just gave me COVID. I'm so sick right now, and now I'm sick and anxious and down with 40 pounds. He got it from hanging out with his friend. I'm so sick and have been since New Year's, and now he wants to charge me more than I've ever made in a single paycheck per month. I'm so sick and I'm poorer than ever because of it, and now he sent me an unpaid employee who's my best friend to tell me that I'm going to have to pay him to be my landlord now all of a sudden, but he can't even talk to me. When she did all of the work, and I don't know or trust him, and also he didn't even ask, and also he needs to go tell his employer he needs more money. He works in a competitive industry, he can use it as leverage, and instead his idea was to take his ex-wife's only means of income when she's a sick person doing her best to survive as it is. I'm not doing that. Me and my roommate agree I'm continuing to pay her money because she pays money for me to live here. I'm not signing a contract. I never was. And I still have tenants' rights. That's how tenants' rights work in this state. And if he's gonna make me explain and teach him how to be a landlord, I'm gonna ask him for a paycheck for that labor too. That's a job. He's not a landlord, and this is his private divorce business, not my business. Landlords don't get to make their tenants do their background check by making them live in the backyard first. That's not how rental applications are done. It's illegal. Plus, I'm a disabled person. I was in special ed class. I'm a special ed class person who had an IEP and a 504. I'm a disabled person with diagnoses since I was born. I always understood the need for them to vet me first. So I lived in the yard first, and it was good for the transition. I was coming from living on the street and fighting men every day. But I lived in that yard for months in uninhabitable means from July to September. Months. As a human garden gnome. I really am the hermit, am I? Did you know the garden gnomes used to be real humans? It's wild, isn't it? I lived as one of those for months, and it's not the same thing because they did that shit for years. They used to make people live in people's yards as ornaments for 10 years at a time with no pay and no shower access, and it was just like a thing that people did. I lived in the yard first for months, from July to September. Landlords aren't allowed to do that. had I had a rental contract, that's a slumlord. They have slumlord laws that prevent that from being legal. What we have with them taking me in and giving me mutual aid is a beautiful thing. It really is. But if this changes from mutual aid to a landlord situation where I'm being profited off of and seen as a paycheck, then that's a slumlord, because I lived really uninhabitable in order to be able to audition to live here. I went through a lot. Me and my roommate talked about it, and I'm not paying him. I'm paying her because she earned it. I know she wouldn't kick me out if I was too sick to pay, especially if she got me sick in the first place. I know that she would have the gall to even talk to me about it. I don't trust him to. Why would I? I have all the evidence to show me that I should not trust him, that he would come talk to me. He can't even come talk to me to sign the contract. He should go to business school if he wants to do this. He's bad at it. I can never even make enough to be able to give her all that she deserves. She saved my life. I was gonna die. I'm not paying him a red cent. I'm sorry, he didn't even bother the time to get to know me, and I'm not even saying that's forever, but he needs to actually build trust with me if he wants me to sign a contract with him, especially after doing this. And I'm not signing no contracts. I've been in... No. You informed me that I need to sign a contract months after I've been here, once I'm trapped and my car doesn't work. It's predatory to do to a disabled person that you pretended to help. That's what makes the difference of you helping me and actually helping me, or just pretending to help. I can't be profited off of. I can't even take care of myself. I don't even have my kid. I'm not a means of income, and I was upfront about that from the beginning. I accept and understand and try my best about the cost that my living here incurs. You brought me in like family. I don't mind the audition because you brought me in like family, and that's all I ever wanted. You baited me with all I ever wanted and then told me it's a business contract. Of course I'm bothered, and I feel like I'm not allowed to tell you that. So whenever I sit you down, I'm gonna ask you, do you want me to tell you the truth, or do you want me to lie? And he'll probably get up and walk out. I can't be profited off of. I'm not a means of income, and I was upfront about that from the beginning. He doesn't know that though, because he didn't get to know me. He never bothered to get to know me, so no, I'm not his tenant. He's not my landlord. I'm her tenant, and she's my best friend who saved my life. And that's who I'm going to be giving me and my donors hard-earned money to. I'm not sorry, I'm a panhandler. He just asked me to go panhandle $300 a month from people who sacrifice what equates to their flesh and blood in order to work. We sacrifice our body in exchange for money. Whenever we're working, they do that for me, and he asked me to panhandle $300 on top of what I already can't afford because I can't clothe myself and smell like body odor constantly. I haven't brushed my teeth in months. I am hurt and not okay. I'm working on it though, and I'm great as long as I just needed a family. I'm an orphan that you brought in, and then all of a sudden now I'm a tenant. It's always something, isn't it? I have faith though, and a very solid roommate. They are a good family. I just don't think that he's taking into consideration what he's really doing. I hope he'll hear me out. I never once held gainful employment, ever, and he doesn't know that. But maybe when he does know that, he'll change his mind and realize, and then all of these words didn't even need to be said. And I'll be embarrassed. but I didn't start this. I'm 28 years old and I've never had gainful employment, and you can't understand how painful that is. I dodged gang rapes and fought men on a daily basis. The federal government shot somebody in front of me in the face, and then I've had a lot of trauma. It started at 18 months old when I was burnt from the neck down, and a traumatic brain injury at 8, then immediately given Adderall days later, and they never got me help for the traumatic brain injury either. They just gave me fucking Adderall. I've lived on only scraps and been taken in as a refugee by so many people, and they all bring me in and they say, look, you can stay here, this is your nice space, you can stay here for free, your family. And then they turn it and then they say, you know what, actually I need you to make money for me. It's the same game pimps use, actually. You don't want to know why I'm negative and depressed? I'm anxious as fuck that I'm gonna have to fight men again, and he didn't even think about that. I don't know how to say that to somebody without them reacting violently to me, and this world has done nothing but show me that if I'm honest, they react violent to me. Men hit me for being honest about how they mistreated me every day until I got the ability to kick their ass. Another white man who's never known what health issues or poverty is like is coming in and sniffing at me for money when he doesn't even need it. And he has alternatives. I was his first option, his first thought. He can't go talk to his boss and say, I need more money for the job that I'm giving you. Otherwise, I'm going to use my time in order to benefit my family because your paycheck isn't meeting my needs. He has leverage in his industry. And now I'm thinking about going back into industries that I retired from for good reason. I've started using dating apps and worrying and panicking that I might be homeless again at any second because this guy got offended, because that's how it always is, isn't it? I felt guilty for even buying food because I can't even afford rent, and now I'm down 40 pounds. I have stomach acid just raging everywhere again. You know what? Fuck what he says, and I'm gonna just throw all of the care and the fear and the worry the fuck away. What rent? I don't have no contract here, and I don't even talk to you. You can't even come talk to me. I don't have a contract here, I never did. This is a holy mission. It was for a reason, and if he wants to randomly decide that I'm a meal ticket, he's about to be real shocked to find out how much of an acquired taste I am. I didn't choose it, and god damn it, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. This just isn't nice. I don't live in a world where I'm allowed to say that yet, but they tell me to go to therapy. You know what the therapist is gonna tell me? The optimal idea is for me to, say all of this and set boundaries and let people know, but you know what that gets me? Punched in the face. That's what it's like in white America. Do what your therapist says, get punched in the face. Yippee. It's always fucking something. Good night. Thanks for listening. I love you. It'll be okay. And I do have faith that he'll hear me out. He hasn't given me any evidence that he wouldn't hear me out, but this is an awkward ass conversation, and I have lost weight over it. Honestly, there's a lot of trips to the toilet vomiting over it. I'm a sick person. I've had PTSD diagnosed since I was 7. I have PTSD right now. I'm traumatized. This is what my PTSD looks like. I've been taken in by somebody who actually murdered me and took my life before. I'm nervous. And I miss my kid. And I can't build a home for him and a life for myself while I'm giving money to some white man who don't need it and is just too afraid to talk to people. Go talk to your boss. I'm not a meal ticket. I was always upfront about that. You're a cool person and I like you, and this is a weird thing to say, but I'm not gonna just randomly do this. I don't know you, and you need to put in the work to actually, if you're gonna actually want to enter into an agreement with me, which, no offense, but the white man don't have a lot of fucking history with honoring treaties. Or no, this isn't nice. I'm a sick person and you just made me even sicker, and I can't even take care of myself or brush my teeth. I'm a sick person. I smell all the time. I don't know if your nose works from that COVID you went and recreationally got, but I can't be doing this. I can't be doing this. I did not sign up for this, and this is what gets me put out on the street. I lived on the street for a year and a half because I didn't want to be doing this, and if I wanted to be doing this, I would have just been fucking those men that wanted me to stay with them in exchange for sex. And you know what I find funny? Right before you came and asked me to be your paycheck, you know what you were saying a month before? You would come over and you would gripe for a long time about how you were single and upset about that. You would gripe about how you're single and upset about that in front of me and your ex. You don't think that that's awkward? And then now that something that I no offense, but yeah, now all of a sudden it's you know what? I've decided that I don't like her, so she needs to pay me money. That's it. That is what it is, isn't it? I'm an acquired taste, bitch. Nice to meet you. I'm Jesus. Hi, landlord.